Mittens and I know that if money's tight this fall, you may need to grow some things from seed. I'm Christy Wilhelmi from Gardenerd, and we're going to look under this floating row cover to talk about all the things that you can direct sow this fall. To direct sow means to plant a seed exactly where you want it to mature. And if you live in a warm winter climate or in a controlled environment where you raised beds don't get a frost, hey, no. It's not allowed in the beds. That's why we use floating row cover here at Gardenerd, mostly to keep mittens out, but also to protect our freshly planted seeds from birds and other critters from digging in the beds. Now, what was I saying? Okay, so let's talk about the different things that you can grow by planting seeds directly in the place where you want them to mature. Let's start with root vegetables. Radishes, parsnips, turnips, beets, carrots. Those are all great for sowing in the ground, and some of them are easier than others to grow. For example, radishes will germinate in maybe 3 to 5, maybe 7 days tops, so they're really quick to germinate. And some of the others will take longer. Carrots, parsnips, and turnips can take up to 21 days, but if you're watering the whole bed every day or you get rain, that's not going to be a problem. Just keep that top inch of soil moist the whole time and you're good to go. Other things that are really great to direct sow in your beds, salad greens. We love to grow 10 different kinds of lettuces, a couple different kinds of arugula, 3 different kinds of mustard greens. Mustard greens and arugula will germinate in just a few days. Lettuces can take up to 10, but most of them are going to germinate quickly, and you will enjoy picking those all season long. And then, of course, there are some tender herbs that grow really well when you direct sow them. For example, dill and cilantro. Both will germinate relatively quickly, within 10 to 14 days, and they sprout up all over the place. Around here, we even scatter dill and cilantro and arugula seeds just kind of in the landscape, and they will pop up as soon as it rains, and soon we'll have a carpet of all of those things, an edible carpet on the whole property. So you can do that kind of thing if you don't feel like direct sowing in your garden beds. Let's talk for a minute about how to direct sow. Now, I know the impulse is strong to drill holes very deep when you plant seeds, but if you take a look at the seed packet, it's going to tell you exactly how deep it should be. Most seeds for the fall are much smaller than your summer seeds. Like squashes are huge, but mustard greens are tiny. You've seen mustard seeds. So you want to just make a little divot in the soil. Just barely the width of your fingernail is going to be deep enough for most of these seeds. And if you stick to package directions on how deep to plant, they're going to emerge on time and quickly. There are some crops I've not mentioned that you can still absolutely direct sow. You just have to stick with it a little bit longer. For example, parsley takes maybe up to 28 days to germinate, and I don't know about you, but by then I've kind of forgotten about it. So maybe those and your brassicasias are the thing to start indoors where you can keep a better eye on them. If you're feeling adventurous, you can absolutely try and grow any seed in the soil. It just depends on how cold it gets where you live quickly. Around here, we don't have a frost, so we don't have to worry about a lengthy process for germination. The reason why people start seeds indoors is because either they have a short growing season or it takes too long for those things to germinate and you might forget about them. Here at Gardenerd headquarters, we don't get a frost because we're close to the ocean, so we germinate most things in the soil directly. We start our brassicasias indoors under grow lights because those require intense light really close to the leaf surface in order for them to stay bushy and stout. But I have grown them in the soil directly, and you can too. They just might be a little leggy and take a little while to get going. All right, so I hope that gives you some inspiration to start some seeds directly in your garden beds or containers. You absolutely can do that. For more information about starting from seed, check out my book, High Yield Small Space Organic Gardening. You'll find a lot more information at gardenerd.com, where you can also find my books, our online courses, and tons of other stuff. Consider becoming a Patreon subscriber to support all the free stuff we do here at Gardenerd. Your support would allow us to keep doing these videos, so check it out at gardenerd.com. Happy gardening!